Have you ever wondered why some folks uncover peace and freedom as they age, while others feel ensnared in their relationships? The truth is, as you grow older, having a partner might not always be the blessing people presume it to be. For many, it can morph into a silent, creeping poison, draining their vitality, curbing their choices, and even making their later years more stressful than they ought to be. If you've ever felt that keeping a relationship going at this stage demands more than it delivers, you're not alone. In this video, we're delving into 5 key reasons why having a partner in old age can actually complicate life rather than ease it. Here's the kicker. Grasping these reasons doesn't mean you should dodge companionship entirely. It's about being savvy enough to see the full scope and making choices that truly bolster your well-being. Stay with me until the end, because what we're about to explore might just reshape how you view relationships in your later years forever. Number 1. The emotional weight of constant compromise. As you age, your patience for needless stress dwindles, yet relationships often require relentless compromise. When younger, tweaking your habits, preferences, and goals to keep the peace might feel second nature. But as years pass, you realize these trade-offs often cost more peace than they're worth. Simple choices, what to eat, where to go, how to pass time, can turn into exhausting debates, sapping your emotional energy. Take Robert, a 74-year-old who spent decades adjusting to his wife's wishes, only to see his own desires fade into the background. Now he longs for quiet mornings, but his wife blasts the TV at dawn. These tiny clashes stack up, transforming a once-loving bond into a chain of grating compromises. The fact is, after a certain point, you shouldn't feel obliged to bend your happiness to suit another's whims. Many in relationships stay stuck in emotional loops, reassuring, adjusting, managing someone else's feelings, but in old age, this load feels heavier than ever. Instead of relishing your days as you please, you're still ensuring your partner's content, often at your own cost. The harsh reality, a relationship that drains your emotional reserves in later life, no longer serves you. Peace of mind should top your list. Yet many cling to partnerships from habit, not joy, blind to how much lighter life could be without ceaseless compromise. Number 2. The loss of genuine independence. One of the finest freedoms of old age is finally living life your way after decades of duties, raising kids, working hard, tending relationships. Yet a partner often ties your decisions to their needs, habits, and expectations. You might think you're savoring your golden years together, but you could be giving up what makes this time truly rich: absolute independence. Consider Frank, a 78-year-old who, after his wife passed, realized he'd never chosen just for himself. His life had been a tapestry of compromise, where they lived, what they ate, how they spent leisure. Alone, he found the joy of waking with no duties, no schedules shaped by another, no need to justify his picks, a freedom he'd unknowingly craved his whole life. Even in solid relationships, you're expected to check in, sync plans, adapt to someone else. It's not about disliking them, it's about how much autonomy slips away in a shared life. You might not feel free to travel on impulse, pick hobbies without input, or shift routines without regard for another's reaction. Mentally, too, independence erodes, opinions blend, perspectives fade after years of talks, debates, compromises. Alone, you reclaim pure, unfiltered thoughts, deciding what sparks your joy, not what keeps a partnership steady. Independence isn't just living solo, it's moving through life without needless shackles. In old age, the greatest gift is embracing your desires fully, unhindered by constant adjustment. Number 3. The fatigue of endless compromise. Early on, relationships bring comfort, support, and delight, but as you age, they demand something you may lack energy for: constant compromise. It's a slow drain, unnoticed until you taste the alternative: calm solitude where every call is yours. Take Robert again, 74, who cherished his wife but spent decades yielding, watching films he disliked, dining where he wouldn't choose, tweaking days to fit hers. None were huge sacrifices alone, but they piled up. After she passed, he braced for loneliness but found relief instead: freedom to act without weighing in others' needs. It wasn't lovelessness, he just misjudged compromise's toll. In youth, it fosters patience and teamwork, but in old age, it's a burden when you should be resting, reflecting, savoring liberty. You might not see how much you've surrendered until you step back from always negotiating needs. Even simple shared bits, home decor, health choices, grow taxing, wearing you down when you should feel light. The peace of decisions without pushback becomes a luxury. You needn't explain, defend, or mute annoyances. That clarity, being yourself without filtering for approval, is deeply refreshing. Number 4. The hidden burden of caretaking. People envision old age relationships as companionship and love lasting to the end, but few foresee the crushing duty of tending a declining partner. Take James, 77, married 50 years when his wife fell ill. He became her caregiver, first with small help, then fully as her health faded. His own suffered sleeplessness, weight loss, soaring stress. What began as love turned into a consuming task. Many elderly pairs face this. One's illness thrusts the other into tireless care. Noble as it seems, it wrecks well-being. Studies show elderly caregivers face more depression, anxiety, even illness from the strain. It's grueling, leaving scant room for freedom. Ironically, when one dies, the survivor's often worse off than if they'd stayed solo. Even without sickness, fretting over each other, meals, visits, activity, drains mentally. Singles dodge this, prioritizing their own energy, routines, joy. Loving is grand, but bearing another's decline is brutal. Choosing your health in old age might be wisest. Number 5. The financial and emotional strain of late-life ties. Many assume a partner in old age brings ease and safety, but it can tax finances and emotions. Later years should be calm, yet relationships often add stress, shared costs, medical bills, money spats. Robert, 80, thrived alone after widowhood until a new partner in his 70s changed things. Her financial woes became his, living expenses, health costs, even her kids' needs. Companionship shifted to obligation, dipping into his savings. It's common. Late-life bonds tangle finances, sparking stress when one leans on the other. Beyond cash, emotional costs rise. Clashes over spending, legacies, or bills breed resentment. Some feel trapped, unable to leave due to need or fear, burst trading peace for duty. Singles, though, steer their funds, spending, saving, deciding freely, a liberty unburdened by another's woes. Relationships aren't just love, they're duties many miss. If security and calm matter, independence might be shrewdest. Final thoughts. As you trek through life, later year choices grow crucial. While a partner seems vital, it can bring more strain than delight for some. Aging should mean freedom. To choose, live unburdened, prioritize yourself. Companionship isn't always joy, especially if it binds you with tasks, conflicts, limits. Reflect, are your ties truly joyful or held by habit, fear, duty? Everyone's path varies, but your later years deserve peace, not hardship. Whether with someone or solo, ensure it lifts your life. Aging isn't about norms, it's about what serves you. Sometimes, the smartest move is shedding what doesn't. Thanks for joining. Comment one takeaway and how you'll use it. Like, subscribe, share to fuel more content that informs and inspires. See you next time.